What is going on, YouTube? Here we go again. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of 2x2 Growing. Hope you're all having a really awesome day. All right, on today's episode of 2x2 Growing, we're going over the top 10 mistakes new growers make. And to be quite honest, 5 of the top 6 on this list, experienced growers are definitely still doing. So stay tuned. Let's get started. So we're starting off at number 10, and number 10 is where it all starts, and bad genetics can throw you right to the wind right off the get-go. You don't want bad genetics. You want reliable genetics. You want reputable genetics. You pretty much want some video evidence. Go on YouTube if you can. And a lot of the times you'll be able to find a grow series with the newer, better, more popular genetics. Not even the newer ones, just the more popular ones throughout time. Definitely give her a once over because that could save you a lot of heartache. You never know. Moving on to number 9, and that is don't listen to those CalMag bros. Not everything needs CalMag. It's an epidemic that's gone on for the last 5 years. CalMag does not fix everything. In fact, it can make things a lot worse if you have a lot of residual CalMag sitting inside your soil going into flower. Do not listen to the CalMag bros. Do some more investigating. Anyway, let's move on to number 8. And that is your growing medium. Because if you don't have a good growing medium, that is the end of that chapter. It can be all over very fast. If you have some super muddy, condensed, really heavy soil, you don't want that. You want the nice, light, fluffy, airy stuff. If you want to know my go-to choice, that is the Mother Earth, and that is the 70-30 ratio with the perlite mixed in. If that's not around, some Mo Coco definitely. But I will never use Canna Coco ever again. Just because it looks light, fluffy, and airy does not mean it's horrible for you, and that would be because of those bugs. That Canna Coco was loaded up with the bugs. Definitely check your bag to make sure there are no bugs. Use a nice light. Look really intensely because that can set you back a full year. Trust me, it happened to me. Don't let it happen to you. Number 7. And that is not training your plants. Your plants are just like you. It's better off if you train them. You want those nice, thick, sturdy branches. Sometimes not always DNA will give that to you. So you might have to work at it. You might have to just bend your branches, move them a bit every day. Have a nice, powerful fan on them, but not too powerful oscillating. You really want to have those branches moving back and forth so they build up stability and deliver a nice nutrient highway for your final product in there. Moving on to number 6, and that is too much light. That's right, you got a nice new hyper powerful light. You want to turn it up all the way, but trust me, sometimes less light is best light. You don't want none of that foxtailing. You don't want none of those dry nugs. You don't want any delayed growth. Just trust me on this one. You want what your plant needs and nothing else above that. And we're now on to number 5, and that is something that I've done before. And if you're an experienced grower with a couple years under your belt, you've probably done this before yourself also. And that is thinking that your flowering plants can outlast the bugs that you just found, and you do absolutely nothing about it. Trust me, those things can immobilize very fast and take over things literally overnight. You don't want to mess around. The best way to avoid bugs is a preemptive strike, and definitely make sure that your growing medium does not bring it into the nice clean place that you have. Number 4, and that is have a good quality light. Don't go down to Home Depot and buy a Home Depot grow bulb. That's not going to get you what you need. Nowhere near it. Do not do that. We've all pretty much started out there at one point. Just skip that step and go get yourself a quality light. Number 3, and that is nutrient overload. We've all been there thinking that our plants need a little bit more than what they need, or even just following the instructions on the side of the bottle. that can get you in a lot of trouble. Definitely, if I were you, a new grower starting out, I would start out with half strength for every single thing it says on the side of the bottle. It can be very deceiving. They just want to sell you a product. I'd much rather have a nutrient deficiency than a nutrient lockout any day of the week. A nutrient deficiency you can easily remedy, but a nutrient lockout is all sorts of chaos. You don't want to start with the flushing. Number 2, that is the drying process. And I've got this wrong so many times, I can't even count. My stuff smelled like hay, some really stinky grass from outside. Nothing you want to be showing off. It's not fun. To stop that, to avoid that, if you've done everything right, you've got all your water calculations right, you've added your nutrients properly, you never overwatered, and you're at the final process, you want to go low and slow. You want to do a minimum of 2 weeks. You want it around 63 degrees and 63% humidity. Don't do it fast. I've been there. Number 1, and you probably know what this one is. You're guilty of doing it yourself, and that is over watering your plants at one point. If you want that nice, fast, advancing growth, you just want to blast your way through this whole process. Overwatering can set you back, and you won't end up with your nice flowers in the end all. You don't want to overwater. It will mess things up, and then all of a sudden you think you need to add more nutrients because you think you're seeing a nutrient deficiency, but you're not. You're actually just destroying your plant by adding more nutrients when it already had enough nutrients and the soil is already too wet and you're adding more moisture to it. It's just a cluster beep. You don't want to go there. I've been there, and most of you have probably been there at one point or more than that inside of your growing career. There's something called aerobic bacteria around the roots, and it needs air, and if it doesn't get it, your plant is doomed. And that is the end case. It is what it is. They need air. They don't get air. It's over. Anyway, I'm going to be wrapping this episode up right about now, so please go down there and smash that like button. Take her easy, everyone. I will see you next time.